This is a bit of a different video than usual. Could changes be coming to TPF travel?
They could be.
Hi, this is Amy with TPF, Trips, Places, and Fun.
This is John, and at TPF, we show you how to have fun and exciting travel adventures. And definitely a different type of a video today. We're going to be talking about big changes coming to YouTube, difficult changes for some. There's a lot of questions, confusion, possibly for a lot of people out there. So we're going to kick into this and talk about this a little bit.
And John has been studying this more than I have, so I'm going to let him mostly take the reins, and I'll just jump in if I have something important to say.
So could there be changes coming to our channel? There definitely could be. We love the way things have been going, and we really don't want to change. But then again, hey, change could be for the better. And we're going to talk about some of the challenges, the ways that YouTube is potentially changing come January 1st, 2020. So we're going to kind of hit on that a little bit. I'm not going to get into big details on what is called COPPA or COPPA, depending on how you pronounce it. There's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube. You can check that out. You can research it. In fact, I encourage you to check out a video by Ian Corzine. He's a social media attorney. He's got great stuff out there on this topic. But just to give you a little bit of background, COPPA is it's a regulation. And it was enacted actually several years ago, and then it was refined quite recently. Long story short, it is for the protection of children online. And YouTube got in trouble, and they were fined $170 million. What would we do if we were fined $170 million?
Well, we don't have $170 million, so we'd probably go
Cry.
bankrupt.
Oh, we cry first and then go bankrupt. And so they were fined, and the reasons behind that is that they were collecting data from those who are under the age of 13, which is the definition of a child. And again, long story short, big changes as a result of that. And I encourage you to research all of that on your own. There's a lot of info on YouTube. But these big changes are affecting family channels. They're affecting children's channels. They're affecting really possibly every channel out there on Facebook because
YouTube.
On YouTube. Eventually it'll be Facebook. There's all this confusion. We don't know what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. They have given some guidelines. For example, if there are characters that kids like, or animated cartoons or things that would be appealing to a child, those things are being targeted. And that's where the confusion comes in.
Well, so basically what's happening is YouTube has said you now have to tell them whether your video is for a child, geared toward children, or is its intended audience is a child or not. And so the confusion comes in where, if a child would like to watch it, let's say we made a video about SeaWorld and our target audience has never been children on this channel, but now would a child like watching a video about SeaWorld? So that's where some of that confusion comes in, because that is not our target audience. But if a child would even enjoy watching it, does that, should we mark it as for a child or not? And so there's all that kind of crazy, those questions, and nobody has the answers, not even YouTube themselves.
Nobody does. There are people that are organizing, and they're actually, the FTC has opened dialogue. I'm going to leave some links down in the description below where you can sign a petition, and you can also write a note to the FTC. They're inviting comments about this whole situation, which is great. That's great news. They're actually listening. But speaking of SeaWorld, we just did a video on SeaWorld. We were there in San Antonio, and we had to change some things the way that we were doing that video.
We did. And so what the changes that we have started to make in our videos, just out of caution. And, come January 1st, maybe it's not going to be as big of a deal as everybody is thinking it could be. We don't really know. We're kind of waiting to see how it plays out. But some of the changes that you may have noticed is we no longer say family-friendly adventures. We now say travel adventures. When we were at SeaWorld, even though we had some video of our children meeting the characters like Grover and, the Sesame
Cookie
Street
Monster. There's this guy that
Monster.
squeaks his nose. He's great.
Yeah, even though we had videos of the kids meeting those characters at the Sesame Street meet and greet thing, we didn't include that. You'll see a lot less of our children in our videos right now as we're just kind of, being cautious in this new setting. And it kind of is a shame, to be honest, because even though the goal is to protect children, of course, we all want that. What's happening is that it's encouraging more mature content on YouTube. And so we're kind of worried that, the innocent, fun content that we have seen a lot of on YouTube, or that our kids, like to watch on YouTube, is going to go away. And so that remains to be seen how all that's going to play out. But those are maybe some things you've noticed on our channel. Not a huge deal because we're not specifically geared toward kids, and we never have been. But some of those tweakings that we've made, out of caution.
Yeah, so there are a few videos that we've done in the past that I had to go back and designate as for children, even though that was never really the intention. It's not like we're making children's videos. I think there's a difference there where there's definitely videos out there that are for children. We're not that. We're a family going out, and, we always share information about pricing at theme parks or different places like that. But, for example, we recently went to Kansas City, went to Legoland, showed a lot of Legoland stuff. And, my guess is maybe they're going to consider that to be for children. But again, we don't know. I was heartbroken. I was watching a video from some family vloggers that their thing is they go to Disney World or Disneyland, I believe, all the time. And their thing, and they've got a lot of subscribers, they go and do character meet and greets. That's almost the entirety of their channel.
And their daughter has alopecia, and so they're trying to bring alopecia awareness at the same time, doing these character meet and greets. And basically they're thinking they're not going to be able to make a living on YouTube anymore.
And it was so sad watching that video. I mean, they talked about how for the last month they didn't post anything. They have cried many tears. They have lost many hours of sleep. They don't know what to do, and you could just see it in their eyes. That all of these years and hours, I mean, this video right here that I'm doing, this is the easiest type of video that I do. It's a studio video. And still, this is going to take me probably 2.5 hours or so, 2.5 hours to do this. Some of our videos take 8 to 10 hours, depending on, if we're traveling somewhere, and then all of the editing. Some of these children's videos that are highly produced, they're off the charts. And you've got to know they're taking a lot of time. So this couple and others, many others, they're putting all this time, and it's now for nothing. Some of these, I know you might not feel bad for them, but some of these have gotten very wealthy off of YouTube, and they've bought new houses, or maybe they're moderately wealthy, made that big plunge, and now all of a sudden they have this big house payment,
or they have quit their day jobs. And so that's got to be really hard to think about. Okay, I've made this big step, quit my full-time job to do YouTube full-time, and then now all of a sudden that income is gone, or cut to like 10% of what it was. And so that's not the case for us. We're still getting off the ground. The money we make from YouTube is still just a tiny amount. And since we aren't, specifically geared toward children, it doesn't affect us as much. But I think it's going to affect everybody, at least some small way. And so it's just going to be interesting to see what happens, but also a little bit sad because some of our favorite creators are some of the ones that are geared more toward kids. And and our kids, even some of the actual children channels, and I feel really bad for those guys because it's pretty black and white, it seems. And our kids love these children's channels, and they're healthy and fun and good. And it's sad that they're disappearing if that is the case. And yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I feel like a lot of the YouTube creators that are making their content for children are a lot more wholesome than even the cartoons that are produced on the the major networks. And so it's sad for me to see that potentially going away, because I think it's good for my kids to watch a lot of these things they watch on YouTube.
Yeah, and I've even heard some of these creators talking about now they're going to have to make more adult content. And I've heard some of them say they're going to have to throw cuss words in.
Yeah, which is really sad.
And kids
don't do that.
Kids are still going to be watching.
Kids are still going to watch, and yet now the creators, some of them are probably going to go the route of making more mature content because they don't want to be flagged as for kids, but kids are still going to watch it. So it's messy. It's really messy, and it's really confusing. But we just wanted to get on here and kind of tell you a little bit about some of the minor tweaks you may have already noticed in our channel, or that you will notice going forward. Yeah.
we just took this cruise and the kids were with us, but it's not going to be focused on the kids at all. We had originally thought that we were going to do a video on cruising with kids. And we don't know if that's okay or not to do that. My guess is it would be because it's more informative.
Yeah, we're trying to inform adults what it's like to cruise with kids. But, as far as like having one of the stipulations is if you have child celebrities or child actors or something in your video, then that could be something that flags you. And so we are for the most part not going to be showing our kids in our videos for now. So
here's where we're at. We're going to be going forward with a lot. I don't think for the most part they're going to notice tons of difference, but we're gonna do more how-tos. We'll probably do more studio videos like this. I know those of you out there that you love it when we get out and we're still going to do that.
We'll still do both.
Don't worry.
We still will do that too.
We
so don't
will.
Worry.
But we'll probably do more of these, maybe more news, cruise news, theme park news, just kind of differentiate us as more of an adult YouTube channel where you're getting information about travel. And so we're going to do some of that. Even though admittedly that's not our favorite thing to do, but it's still enjoyable. It's still good. It's still beneficial, I think, to you all. But we'd love to also hear, what kind of topics and what kind of things maybe that you would like to hear.
Yeah, what's your comment below, if you would? What's your favorite kind of video that we do? I mean, we have all sorts of subscribers for different reasons, and I think some people are here for cruising videos. Some people are here for some Branson stuff. We do a lot of Branson stuff. Some people are here for, the theme parks. What's your absolute favorite kind of topic that we do or kind of video that we do? Do you love like the live action? Do you love the more informative how-to stuff? What's your favorite? Let us know.
And some of you super nice people, you'll just say, oh, we love it all. And I appreciate that. But it would help if you would just kind of nail it down and kind of let us know, because we are making changes. We really are.
And we really appreciate y'all subscribing. We love you all. Thank you so much for participating. And we love your feedback. We love hearing about, just reading your comments and what you like and what's fun, what you enjoy, and what we're doing. And so.
Yeah. And so going forward, you can help us out because we don't know. We have no idea what the ad revenue is going to be like going forward. I mean, of course, we're just getting started, but it's starting to come in just a little tiny bit, and we were looking at the stats today, and it's going up, which is great. Slowly,
Yay!
It's more of a slowly. It's a slowly up.
Slow but steady. We're not. They talk about the different kinds of growth on YouTube, and one is like, lightning bolt. That is not us. We're the slow, steady, and that's okay.
If you all would help us get that lightning bolt, that'd be awesome.
We're like the turtle, right? The turtle and the hare. We're the slow and steady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's us.
So hey, if you would, some ways that you can help, share our videos. We don't ask you to do that very often. We do ask you to subscribe and to like and all that, but share. And that's a huge way to get this channel just snowballing.
Oh, and y'all, we're going to have a really fun one coming up here shortly. It's the chocolate piñata. It'll be short and sweet, literally.
Sweet.
And so share that one because it's going to be really fun. And anyone who has an Uncle Julio's near you, you got to go try out the chocolate piñata.
That's
You'll
coming
see
up
that shortly.
After this video.
Yeah,
Yep. So. Probably the next day. And then the other way that they can support us is Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. So if you'd like to become a patron through Patreon, please do it. Even $1 a month, $5 a month. That'd be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Thanks so much.
So there you have it. Yeah. And look in the description, I will leave the links to where you can sign the petition, and also contact the FTC and let them know it's like, we really love family friendly content. And so that's the big idea. So it will definitely help. All right. Anything else? Is that it?
Nice chatting with you, everybody. Safe travels, everyone.